to the spring mass system. So mass will denote the whole mass of the system. The spring will denote the stiffness of the system or the elastic property of the system, and this fixed position, it may denote any fixed element of the system, just like your automobile. So the total mass of the automobile will be m, the stiffness of the tires, the springs, the shock absorbers can be converted to equivalent spring stiffness, and your road will be your fixed element. Okay, so this body, okay, or the spring mass system can oscillate with respect to, let's say, this mean line. Okay, with respect to this mean line, this horizontal reference line, the spring mass can oscillate. So here this mass is given some displacement and it is reached one position, okay, at A. So it reached position A from O. From this mean line, it is reached this position, it reaches this position. Okay, so initial displacement it is given. So to understand the motion of the spring mass system, the same system is connected, okay, so by a link, and here one crank slider mechanism is there. So here you can see that due to the translational motion or longitudinal motion of the mass, up and down movement of the mass, so this crank will move, okay, with a constant angular velocity omega. The crank will move or rotate. Okay, so when this mass will move from O to A, okay, so the crank will rotate, you can say, 1/4 cycle. Then when it will reach again a mean position, from this position to this A position to O position, then this crank position will be vertical. Okay, you can say that it will align with this link. Okay, just like this. Then again in the next cycle, next half cycle, when the mass will be at negative A, so the crank position will be at this quarter cycle, okay, from here to here. And then again when the mass will move from minus A to O, then the crank position will be this one, means it will complete one rotation. Okay, so it is also called as Scotch-Yoke mechanism. All of you know this mechanism. Okay, so what actually we will be concentrating, on the spring mass system. Okay, to understand the motion of the spring mass system, so it is connected to this type of rotational system. Okay, so what you can say that if you interconnect these two systems, that because of this longitudinal motion with respect to this O, let's say this is OX, okay, OX line, with respect to this OX mean line or equilibrium line, mean line, when the mass is moving up and down, the same crank is rotating, okay, with an angular velocity omega. Okay, and all of you know that if a particle, so here let's say this is the particle, if a particle which rotates in a circular path with a constant angular velocity omega, so then we will say that the particle will be in a simple harmonic motion, isn't it? So this is the basic definition of simple harmonic motion. So any particle which possesses motion with a constant angular velocity omega, then the motion of the particle is said to be simple harmonic motion. So here this spring mass system, our system is this one, not this one. So this is why this is connected, to understand the simple harmonic motion of this spring, mass, of this mass. Okay, mass is, this is the system. So for this mass, the motion will be a simple harmonic motion, as because the graphical or the interconnected reflection will show that this particle will move in a constant angular velocity. Okay, so with respect to this OX line, the mass will oscillate up and down with an amplitude OA. Okay, OA, here also it is OA, though it is negative. Here also the magnitude of the amplitude will be OA only. Okay, so it will be equal if there is no friction. Okay, so you need to imagine this condition that with respect to this line the mass is oscillating. Okay, so initial disturbance we will give in free vibration, and in force vibration so we will be giving external agency to oscillate. Okay, so as because you all might be knowing this thing that a simple harmonic motion, so they possess sinusoidal and cosine waves. Okay, so uh, if you just interconnect, okay, this system and this system, so you will be easily understand that this will be a sinusoidal curve. And in the video lecture, NPTEL video lecture, so there was a system. Okay, so when our teacher, okay, so he just runs that system, so that vibration of the oscillation of the spring mass system, that locus of the point will be a sinusoidal point, a sinusoidal curve. So if you just gone through, if you have gone through that video, so it will be clear to you. Okay, so every sinusoidal curve, so it will be having some amplitude. Okay, so that is basically the amplitude of the system. So here what is an amplitude? So amplitude is the maximum displacement of the mass from the mean position. Okay, so from here to here, OA is the maximum amplitude or maximum displacement. So this will be the amplitude of vibration. So here the vibration will be longitudinal vibration. Okay, so here this will be 0, this will be pi, this will be 2 pi, 3 pi. So the sinusoidal curve will be a curve which is having a time period of 2 pi, means after 2 pi, so the same motion will be repeated. So here also after 2 pi the same motion will be repeated. You can consider that difference 2 pi from here also, pi to 3 pi, or from 0 also, 0 to 2 pi, the same motion, okay, same graph will be repeated again and again if there is no friction or dissipation of energy from the system. Okay, so here mathematically uh, it is written as x equals to a sine theta. Okay, so theta is what? Omega t. Yes, because SHM can be represented by constant angular velocity. That's why it is written as omega into t. Omega is the angular velocity. Okay, so a sine omega t. So here you can have the value of at any time t, because the displacement is the function of time. So you can find out the displacement at any particular t, okay, by putting the value of t and constant angular velocity. So if you are asked to find out what will be the velocity, okay, of the particle at that particular instant, so during the motion of this mass, so the mass may be anywhere, okay, in between this a to minus a. So at any instant you may be asked to find out, so what will be the velocity or what will be the acceleration of the mass with respect to some time. Okay, so time may be given and you may be asked to find out the velocity and acceleration. Then what you need to do, as because you are having the displacement equation, so if you just differentiate it with respect to time, so you will get the velocity. Okay, so in vibration, so instead of dx by dt, so we will be using x dot. Okay, x, and on the top of it we will use one simple dot, x dot. So that will be the velocity, and for acceleration it will be x double dot. Okay, on the top of x we will be using double dot. So dx by dt will be, so all of you know how to differentiate this. So dx by dt will be omega a cos omega t. Okay, so first differentiation for sine will be, it will be positive, omega a cos omega t. Okay, you can convert it to sine also. So omega a sine omega t plus pi by 2, isn't it? So if you convert it by using trigonometry, so omega a sine omega t plus pi by 2. So pi by 2 will be the phase angle. Okay, So again, so by this equation, so you can easily find out, so what will be the velocity of the particle at a particular instant, because velocity, acceleration, displacement, all are function of this time variable. Okay, then again, if you double differentiate this displacement, then you will get the acceleration, so which will be denoted by x double dot equals to d square x by dt square equals to minus omega square a. So you will differentiate this one, omega square a, one omega will come out, so omega square a sine omega t, and differentiation of cos is minus negative. Okay, so negative omega square a is what? Amplitude. Okay, amplitude of vibration from mean position, the maximum displacement is called the amplitude. So minus omega square a sine omega t. So a sine omega t is nothing but x. Okay, so initial displacement, so you can write x double dot or d square x by dt square equals to minus omega square x. So now I think it is clear to you that a vibratory motion can be represented by a sinusoidal curve. This curve will give the displacement of the mass at any instant t, and that equation will give you the value of velocity and the value of acceleration of the mass at a particular instant. Okay, so next is the various terms which are associated with the vibrational motion. Okay, so we have defined what is a periodic motion. So what is amplitude? I have told you that maximum value of motion from the equilibrium position, or maximum value of the displacement from the equilibrium position, is called the amplitude. Okay, then time period. Okay, so time taken to complete one cycle. So one cycle, you know what is one cycle. Okay, so time taken to complete one cycle, after which the same motion is repeated, that is called as the time period. Time duration after which the same motion is repeated, same pattern of motion is repeated, that is called as period. So time period, it is mathematically given by 2 pi by omega. Okay, so 2 pi by omega is the angular velocity of the mass. Though in the simple spring mass system, so let us go to the previous. Though for the simple spring mass system, so it is quite difficult to find out that why there will be a angular velocity. Okay, this system is only reciprocating with respect to this OX line. Okay, this mean line. But why there will be a constant angular velocity? As because the same system can be converted to this equivalent system. Okay, so where you will get a constant angular velocity, that is why the mass will be having one constant angular velocity. Okay, so when we will write this system in terms of the sinusoidal curve, so we will be writing for the spring mass system the motion to be a sinusoidal curve motion. Okay, so don't be confused, though it is moving linearly or reciprocating in the vertical direction, but we can write this equation in this sinusoidal term, as because this is equivalent to this system. If you connect this system, so this will rotate like this way. Okay, now this time period is denoted by capital T or tau. Okay, so we will be using capital T. So here I have taken one slide, okay, directly from some source, genuine source. So here it is written as tau. So you can use capital T or you can use tau, but I will be using capital T. Okay, when I will be writing in my own okay, when I will be writing manually, then it will be capital T only. Okay, so omega is circular frequency or angular frequency. Then what is frequency? So number of cycles per unit time. So how many cycles will be there in a particular amount of time, that is the frequency. Okay, so here in vibration, so frequency, for frequency we will be basically using uh, the hertz, okay, or radian per second. Okay, hertz, we will be using hertz or radian per second, both. Okay, so this omega, though we use it for angular velocity, but here in vibration, so we will call it as frequency. Okay, here in the vibratory motion we will be calling this omega as sometimes as frequency. Okay, so radian per second, and if we convert it to small f, then it will be hertz. So all of you know this linear frequency. So here omega will be, though it is angular velocity, but here in vibration, so we will be, in maximum cases we will be calling it as frequency of vibration. Okay, and its unit will be radian per second. Okay, and for linear this frequency we will be using small f, which will be hertz or cycles per second. So this formula for finding out the linear frequencies, f equals to 1 upon capital T. Okay, or this will be reversed. Okay, omega by 2 pi. So you should remember this formula. Okay, now if you analyze this equation of motion, okay, for this vibrational behavior, so the equation is, basic equation is x equals to a sine omega t. So okay, so omega t is nothing but theta. Okay, theta is omega t, angular acceleration, omega t. So to find out the velocity of mass at any time, so we will be differentiating it with respect to t. So x dot will be, I told you that we will be using x dot and x double dot to define velocity and acceleration. So x dot will be dx by dt, which will be a omega cos omega t. Okay, so in terms of sign, if you want to write, so omega a sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, so this is correct. So this term equals to this term, omega a sine of omega t plus pi by 2. So this will be the velocity. So here pi by 2 is what? This is the phase angle. Means phase angle between the displacement and the velocity. Okay, so there will be one angle in between these two vectors, because this is one vector, this is another vector, velocity vector. So in between these two vectors, so the phase angle will be pi by 2. So similarly, if you want to find out in the same way as we found out, x double dot will be d square x by dt square. So it will be minus omega square a sine omega t. Okay, so we need to differentiate this one. Minus omega 1 omega will come out, omega square a sine omega t. So for cos there will be a negative term. So if you want to convert this sine omega t term, or if you want to just convert it, okay, and to compare it with earlier equation, so you can convert this equation in this form. Okay, so omega square a will be same, then sine omega t plus pi. So if you just introduce plus pi term, then you can just remove this minus sign. Okay, omega square a sine omega t plus pi, because it will be, okay, in the other quadrant with a phase angle of pi. Okay, so it is also correct. So you can convert this to this form. So what does it mean actually? See, x equals to a sine omega t. So x dot equals to velocity vector equals to omega a, some amount of amplitude. It is now increasing. Here a is the amplitude. Now omega a is the amplitude for this velocity equation. And angle, earlier it was omega t, now it is omega t plus pi by 2, means pi by 2 amount of angle is more, okay, in this velocity vector. And here acceleration equation, x double dot equals to omega square a. Okay, so this will be the amplitude of motion and sine omega t plus pi. So same equation. Okay, so instead of omega t, here it is omega t plus pi. So what you can conclude? So from this equation you can conclude that in the velocity vector, it is leading the displacement vector by an angle of pi by 2. Okay, plus pi by 2. Earlier it was omega t, now it is plus omega t plus pi by 2. So velocity vector is leading the displacement vector by a phase angle of pi by 2, and acceleration vector is leading the velocity vector by an angle of pi by 2. And you can say the same thing with respect to displacement. Acceleration vector is leading the displacement vector by an angle pi. Okay, or in other sense you can say that velocity vector is lagging the acceleration vector by an angle of pi by 2, and displacement vector is lagging by a angle of pi by 2 with respect to the velocity vector. Okay, so same thing, it is written here. So if you want to just depict this uh, velocity, displacement and acceleration in graphical form, so let us consider this is the reference line, one reference line. So this is here, this is the displacement vector. Okay, we can amplitude of a. Okay, so which is making angle omega t. Omega t is theta, nothing but theta. Let's say this angle is theta. Okay, so with respect to this displacement, the velocity will be at an angle of pi by 2. Here the angle is not written, but you should write the angle also. Here it is pi by 2. Why it will be pi by 2? Because the velocity vector is leading the displacement vector with an angle of pi by 2. And again, the acceleration vector is leading the displacement vector by an angle of pi and velocity vector by an angle of pi by 2. And it is in the opposite direction. Okay. So why it will be in the opposite direction? So because this negative sign is there, okay, to show the direction. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So in graphical form, if you want to show the phase angle, so how it is lagging or leading. So this first graph is for the displacement graph, x equals to a of sine omega t. Okay, so here it is t or omega t I have considered in the x-axis. So in the y-axis it is displacement, which is a function of t. Okay, so here as because x equals to a sine omega t, so a is will be the amplitude and sine omega t or sine theta. Okay, sine theta will be this one. Okay, sinusoidal curve. Then the velocity is leading the displacement vector by an angle of pi by 2. That's why pi by 2 will be shifted. Okay, so from here you can draw. So from this point you will draw this graph. Okay, because pi by 2 it is leading by pi by 2. This is the phase angle. So wherever there was maximum value, so here you will get some minimum value, and wherever there was minimum value you will get one maximum value. Okay, so here the amplitude will be, it will not be a, so it will be omega into a. Okay, and here the amplitude will be omega square a. So acceleration vector, it is leading the velocity vector by pi by 2. So from here, because it is leading by an amount of pi by 2, so from here we will start. So from here this will be just like your cosine curve. Okay, so if you just lead any vector, cosine vector, by an angle pi with respect to sine vector, so that graph will be a cosine curve only. You also know that. Okay, because sine and cosine, their phase angle it is pi by 180 degree, isn't it? So here it will be a cosine curve. So these are the graphical representation for the simple harmonic motion for displacement, acceleration, and velocity and acceleration. Okay. So one important, very important thing. So here I am just writing it as a note. Okay. So in the third term, that is in the term acceleration, so you have seen that x double dot equals to minus of omega square a sine omega t. So in the last expression, when you have differentiated the displacement twice, so you got this term minus omega square a sine omega t. So a sine omega t is what? X. And we know that this acceleration comes from the displacement, and that displacement equation is a simple harmonic equation. So here the second definition of the simple harmonic motion comes. So what is that definition? So any motion where acceleration is directly proportional to displacement. So here x double dot is directly proportional to x, okay, displacement, and this acceleration is acting in opposite direction to the displacement. So here you can see that x double dot acceleration is opposite, minus of x, so opposite to the displacement. Okay, so that is why in the last representation, so you have seen this is in the negative direction of x. So acceleration is directly proportional to displacement, and it is in the opposite direction of displacement. So here it is in the opposite direction of displacement. So This way, you need to define the vibration mathematically. Okay. So dear students, so this is all for today. I hope all of you have understood the concept of this vibration. Okay, means the introductory part of vibration. So in the next lecture, so we will going to solve, okay, one problem related to this topic. Okay, this problem is there with me, but I think in the next lecture, so we will be solving that problem. Okay, so let me take the attendance for today's class. So if you have any doubt, so you can ask. Yes, Champailar, Bhargav, Avinash, Yuzraj, Harsha, Raktim, Ansuman, anyone? Where are others? Only 16. 16 means 15. Any doubt, dear students? Okay, then thank you. Okay, for listening. You can leave the meeting now.